Hello and welcome to the Savvy Gadgetz channel with me, Ian, and this is Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock, live stream and Project Zomboid. Now, this is the map that oversees Project Zomboid, most an unofficial sort of map, but finally they've actually added in some points of interest into Louisville. I've finally made it in, and there's some quite interesting places here. It mentions the cinema, movie theatre, so let's dive in there. Now, we actually invaded, in a previous live stream, the nightclub. There's also the army surplus place, with the tents and a few bits and pieces. You might find some interesting sort of military equipment there. There's an auto shop. And it's not the one that I was looking for, but it does actually have like a rear sort of fenced off area, which looks quite useful, because one of the things that if you have a spear and zombies are on the other side, you can actually attack zombies through metal fences like that with a spear, and they can't attack you in return, which is fantastic. So that looks like it could be a useful place. There's the distillery. There's a storage place just there, not quite near the army surplus place. So that looks like it could be a good place to sort of like have a look out. That not so much, but you might find some interesting office supplies. That's actually somewhere in the top right hand corner. You've got the distillery further down. Here it is, the distillery, the Scarlet Oak Distillery. You might find some useful bits there, at least a lot of liquor. Gas station. All the usual sort of places, but there's not much in between, to be fair. I mean, it picks up the baseball stadium, but then you've got all of that down there, and it's like the odd gated community, the new mall that you can go and dine in, and the bookshop. Got Worm books. There he is. Look. There is a book Naked as well that I found. I think it's over here somewhere, maybe. But again, it's like you'll find these things and then say, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is, and it's like, I can't, it's just big. Right, so the plan this week is we're in West Point, we're playing around West Point, and we're currently up here by this lake, and we've raided this little cabin here, and we're making a base out of this two-storey house here. We've got a couple of cars, we've got a nice spiffo van, and we've got lake, we've got water, we've got the ability to food. We've read the books like Carpentry. We've started building our gantry just above our kitchen sink so that we can plumb that in, and we've got a pipe wrench. The only problem that I have at the moment, and this has been an ongoing problem for me for some time, is I don't actually have a lighter as such. I've got some matches, but I don't have a lighter, so I'm actually going to go and take a look for a lighter, but I'm also quite short on fuel as well. Towing the other car back with a spiffo van really seems to have taken a lot of fuel out of it, and so I need to go to, so if I zoom out here, I actually need to go down here to this petrol station and get some petrol. So I've got kind of like a double plan here, because there's this area as well. What I want to do is I want to have a look at this area, and I want to have a look at this, and I want to go to the petrol station to get some fuel. That's the plan. At least that's the bold plan. Now, whether it actually happens or not is another thing entirely. Things can go hideously wrong. Right, well, today I am rather well stocked of goodies. So my kids like to try different sweets from across the world, and mail candy online. We usually go to shop there, and they have sweets from America, sweets from, well, produce basically, just not sweets, but that's what we mainly get. So foods and from America, Australia, India, Middle East, Europe, that kind of thing. And this week I've actually got these Arnott's shapes, which are Vegemite and cheese. So it's like now, I actually quite like Vegemite and cheese. So but I do have my usual backup in case those are horrible. I've actually got some Morrison salt and vinegar swirls, which are my favourites. And I don't have a Red Bull or anything like that, but I do have some caffeine with me. I've actually got an Nescafe Gold vanilla latte, which is very nice. It's too hot to drink at the moment, and when that runs out, I've also got my Coke Zero. I'm not endorsed or sponsored by any of these companies or manufacturers, but I sponsor them by buying their products. Right, so nicely silver foil wrapped. Ah, Vulcan, hello. Super Tone Man, hello. I'm going to try one of these. I love it. They're actually shaped like Australia. It's fantastic. It's a cheese and Vegemite cracker. Now, I have had cheese and Vegemite in a sandwich, and it does actually taste exactly like that. That's not bad. That's actually quite nice. So I won't have to break open the 12s just yet. Yeah. Yeah, so the bold plan, apart from eating those, is to get some sleep because my character's badly damaged. Now, what's interesting here is all of that hurt was being overloaded. Now, I did have a couple of bandages on, but it's absolutely pitch black. It's like 8 o'clock at night. Let's get some sleep. Do that first, because then your health goes straight up. You just see it zip straight up there. Alright, why have you woken up at 1:30 in the morning? That's really annoying. Anyway, Carpentry's coming along. I have read the cooking book. I've read the second level Carpentry book. I've read the first level fishing and trapping, and I've read the second level of foraging, which is almost done. Right, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Let's make sure that we've got what we need. So, on the hunt for lighters again, which I just can't seem to find the lighter that I have. I think it broke. Got plenty of cigarettes, garbage bags. Now I know I've got more than that. I've got matches and things like that, but I just want a lighter, and if I can find a propane torch welding mask, I've got a propane torch, I just need the mask. What I can do, and this is another bold plan, is I can actually, with those, uproot a sink from one of the other houses and put the sink in here, and then have 2 water supplies, one for each tap, basically. That's the plan. So it's another work in progress, as it is. So, how you guys been? How have you been, Vulcan? How have you been, Super Toe Man? If you are on chat, don't forget to say hi. Got any questions? Don't forget to ask. We do our best to answer everything and demonstrate as much as possible. See, I knew I had more garbage bags. Got 6 of them. I've got the pipe wrench. I'll need the pipe wrench for that. What else? Right, so because the power has gone out, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take with me a generator, which is already in the back of the van. I have 2 empty gas cans, some crafted spears, and a backup crowbar. Now, what have I got on my food? Okay, that's the next thing. It's like, got some berries. Okay, that's not awful. Yeah, things are good. Thank you, Vulcan. I went to a funeral, my auntie's funeral. My auntie died at the start of February, so it was her funeral yesterday. In fact, if you, I don't know whether you watched the live stream that I did, I actually had to have my dog put down, and then the following day my auntie died. It was a really terrible week for me that week, because also on Friday my TV broke down. It was just one disaster after another that week. It was just horrible. But this week's, despite that, I've actually had a good week. We've got some stuff sorted out. We've got the car, our second car back, so the wife's happy, as they say, happy wife, happy life, and all of that. Right, so let's get some food and some drink in me. That doesn't work because that's run out of water. Let's see if we can get anything out of this tap. No, nothing out of there. Quickly dive upstairs. Maybe there's some water upstairs in the taps upstairs. If not, I'm going to have to dive out to the lake. Where's the bathroom in this place? Oh, well, that was a good guess. Yeah, so there's some drink there. And what we might do is fill the water bottle. Well, it's not exactly empty, but, you know, it's useful. Got some vitamins, some adhesive bandages there. That's not entirely, some tweezers. Now, I have actually put my medical supplies downstairs in the kitchen, in the cabinet next to the fridge. So there's all of my medical supplies. Right, let's talk food. Right, the best food to take you from empty to full is actually a box of cereal. I've only got one box of cereal left. Maybe I should try and grab some whilst I'm out there. I also don't have any mouse traps. That's been a thing. I don't actually think I've got any of the trapping guides either. Let's have a look. Angling magazines. Right, so I've got Hunter 2 and 3. In fact, I've got 2 copies of Hunter 2. And I've read all of that. So I should have the... So, trapper. So I should have the guides. Right, okay, so I can make a stick trap. But I need twine, which I don't think I've got. But I can make a wooden trap crate, which is the best one. Compared to all of the others. Even though the trap box looks better overall, it isn't. If you look at some of the guides online, the wooden cage trap is the best. And we can actually do that, and we can't bait it because we don't have any of the things. So I'm also on the lookout for Hunter Magazine Volume 1 just for the sake of it. V, hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Savvy Gadgets. If you've not been here before, any questions, don't forget to ask. Right, food. Okay, so as usual, what I carry around with me is a bowl, and I've got some berries, which I've got from foraging, and with that what I can do is I can right click and create myself a fruit salad. This helps with my cooking, but more importantly, where are the pins? What pins? What I don't understand what you mean by where are the pins. Yes, I am. I don't understand what you mean by where are the pins. Now, it has just occurred to me that I might actually be talking to my daughter. She often refers to herself as V. Right. Okay, so anyway, get on with the live stream. So, where was it? Right, okay, so we've read the books. We need to get the books right. So, let's... With creating food from berries and from foraging, and you go for a bowl, what it does is it creates... helps you stay happy, so it keeps off depression and it keeps off that sort of thing, and boredom as well. So you eat that and it's it takes away your unhappiness from there, so it keeps you sane as well, which is always useful. Anyway, that is not exactly taking away my hunger either, so what I'm going to do, I think I've still got one. Or not. No, I don't. I don't have a can of oats. Oh dear, that's bad. About that one. Was there one in there? Can of oats. See, cans of oats, they're really useful because you could use them multiple times and get a bowl of oatmeal out of them, and they'll keep you going for some time. Alright, so it doesn't look like I've got any of that. So what I'll have to do is, can I cook anything? I don't actually have anything that I can cook. So I'm also missing some cooking equipment as well. I don't really have any sort of pots and pans as such, really. Finally got some seeds, so I've got some carrots. So I can plant those and put those in my sticky trap. Not going to be there, so there is a lot of junk in my kitchen, it has to be said. Right, okay, so we need something to eat. We need to sort that out. Let's open the tuna. Tuna's always good. Let's get some food going. Quick swig of the old frothy coffee. Okay, so I'm not hungry anymore. I've still got some berries. Not much. Okay, I'll see if I can scavenge some food whilst I'm out. Right, so we have weapons. We have... So one thing I've noticed that I haven't really picked up that I'll probably have to consider is some gloves. That will help stop me from getting bitten on the hand. I've also got a lot of sheets on my personage, which I don't really need. Yeah. Okay, Bella, you're right. Don't do that to her.
Where are the pins?
What pins?
Hang up my phone and that's with.
They're on the table in the living room, where they were.
Have you?
As I suspected, V is my daughter. Suddenly dawned on me. She's asking me something out of the ordinary. It was just so confusing. So what do you mean with pins? There's no pins in this game. What's going on? So yes, I was confused. Right, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's beginning to get daylight. Right, so the van doesn't have a lot of petrol in it. In fact, I'm quite interested to know just how badly damaged this thing is as well. Let's just take a look at the vehicle maintenance. This was around the 60s, 70s when I last looked at it. Oh, 74. Okay, it's good. This is good. I'm already thirsty again. Oh, this is ridiculous. Let's go get some water from the tap again. Assuming I can. Yeah, I can. Oh, I actually can clean a rag. Look. I'm not going to clean the rag in that. What I'm actually going to do is walk over and drop that rag because I don't need a dirty rag. There's no point carrying it around. No, don't jump out of the stairs. Oh, it's always bad when that happens because it's one of those times when your character might end up breaking their leg. So, nails, sunflowers. Although you can actually eat sunflowers. Let's get rid of that. And you, Vulcan, have a fantastic week. I'll catch you next week. Okay? Thanks for joining. Right, so let's go. Alright, so this isn't too bad a journey, really, because what we'll do, we'll go down here, past the cars that I managed to avoid, and to get off the road using the little sports car. And I'm surprised it actually used so much petrol. There is no more petrol in the sports car, which I thought was surprising, because that had a full tank, but it didn't fill up the tank on this, and it was very much a case of it got me thinking, does that mean that not all cars have the same sort of size petrol tank in them? That might very well be the case. But anyway, go down here, and I think it's pretty much follow your nose and avoid the zombies. Now, the one thing that does kind of annoy me, I'm not entirely sure whether you can move the map, because like right now it's right in the way. It's on the road. I want to see the road. And if you're travelling at a reasonable speed and zombies turn up, because, oh look, they're just lining up to be run over. Look at that. Oh, there we go. It's going to get worse before it gets better, let's face it. Oh, there's one. Well, when I say one, I actually meant, here's one I ran over earlier. Right, now I think I need to actually go in that direction, don't I? Ding da ding. Yep. I've definitely been down here before. There's some zombies crawling around. I've obviously run them over previously. Whoops. I'm trying not to run them over purely so that I don't damage my van. And that my van stays in good nick. But I am expecting... I'm just going to pause the video, pause it there, pause the game there, quickly check out where I am. So I'm trying not to run over zombies. Right, so I've actually come down here, and I'm currently going down this road. I'm about here. That bit. Okay, so I need to carry on down this road, just keep going straight. And when I get to that set of white picket fences, through after the gated community, turn right down there. Well, already then, let's go for that. Like I say, trying to avoid damaging my nice spiffo van by running over zombies, because running over zombies actually damages the tyres and the suspension, I think. Right, so we're looking for... not that tree. Oops. So we're looking for that white picketed fence bit after the gated community. Whoop. Dodge around them. Dodge around these cars without hitting more vehicles. Now, I've not been down here before. I'd like to know what that hit to be in such bad damage. Oh, such bad state. There's a gnome. The gnome's a zombie as well. Right, white picket fences we need to turn down here. This will be heading out towards our the first place that we want to check out and raid. Let's see how badly it is. Oh, hey Bella, let yourself in again. Okay, there seems to be a few zombies about here. Let's like take them on. That's right, they're coming in one at a time. This is good. Now, if we go with zombies, you see I'm being attacked by multiple zombies. By standing on the chest of this one, I can actually fend off the others, and the one that's on the floor can't attack me. Now, one of the other things that's always worth mentioning is zombies move slower than people. So if you're walking, and provided you're not overloaded, you will be able to outrun them at a slow pace without getting exerted or overexerted at the very least. So I know what I'm going to do. Oh, there's a couple. Let's bring them in this direction. I'm a bit blasé about this, to be fair. Right, this is beginning to get out of hand. I'm trying to make it so I'm hitting more than one at a time. Again, there's too many. There's quite a few actually. Missed. Haha! Missed both my hands and my legs. So as you can see, I'm actually gaining distance on them just by walking around. Well, all of this is doing damage to them.
I can't find them.
Sorry?
Can't find them. I can't find them.
Okay, well I don't know then. I'm sorry, Emily.
Sake.
Right, let's see if I can get them one at a time, or... That didn't work. Oh, that's working. I've just leveled something up. Oh dear. Well, that was a lot of zombies to deal with in one go, but we managed it. Whew. Let's check these guys out. There's obviously some... just shut the door again. Let's quickly pause it so I don't get caught out. Yeah, suddenly I have a zombie creep up on me while I'm trying to shut the door. Lovely. Right. Okay, nothing. Can't get into that one. Okay, there's a nice truck here, look. No key though. Now they always say check the bodies or the glove box, well I can't check the glove box. It'd be nice if I could take some of these cars. It might be worth coming and back and you know, with my little sports car, which is pretty much knackered at the minute, and seeing whether or not. Okay, I'm going to shut that door. Okay, this is good. Let's loot the orange soda. Not exactly what I'm after. Oh, a cookie. A 3-month-old cookie. Yay. Let's take it. It's food after all. Chips and some sunflower seeds. Let's see. Water bottle. Yeah, we'll have that. Thank you very much. Orange bottle. Soda pop. Yeah, we'll have that. Newspaper. We don't need newspapers. What's here? Comic book engineer magazine. We'll take the engineer magazine. Anti-pop can. Pop cans. Rotten hot dogs and pizzas. We'll take the drink, not the food. Okay, we'll actually have a drink. Thank you. What's that on the floor? Is that just floor detail? Okay, fine. Okay, so work our way along the counters. Plastic bags. Ha ha! A lighter. Oh, 3 lighters. That's what you want. Right. Okay. What's in here? Any zombies? No. Okay, great. So more drink. More drink. This is always good. I always bung it in the back of the car. Some shells. What's on the shelves? Oh, beef jerky. Well, we'll definitely have that and some sunflower seeds. What's here? That was more beef jerky, wasn't it? Let's grab that. And chips and peanuts. Peanuts would be useful. And what's this? It's the door to the outside world. Perhaps I should grab some more garbage bags if I can. Let's have a quick look. No, we're good. Empty pocket, scrap electronics. Empty bottle, yeah, we'll have that. Empty pop can. Oh, it's garbage bags. I'm off. Ah, where did you come from? Have some of that. And I'll take your digital watch. Right, no, that's it. The search for lighters is officially done. It's so quick as well. Oh, hello. All of a sudden, I've just saw a load of zombies just falling through the window. Let's not stay there. Let's take a quick shove this through the window. And check out these cars actually, because they just piled in from there. So let's not attract any more of them if we can help it. And to be fair, I'm not actually sneaking around, am I? I'm not in sneak mode. Yeah, and it does help. I mean, at the very least, you get used to the controls and all the rest of it. So you, even on if you work on an easy mode, you're gonna live a little bit longer. Let's eat that cookie. Eat the cookie. We need the calories and the sugar. But it didn't get rid of my hunger. Ooh, you bugger. Okay, let's see. There's some zombies there. I think we're good for how we've done here. I'm going to check out the trash cans. Like I say, I want more garbage bags if I can. Got food. Oh, that's a mail bag. A mail van. Oh, right, okay, fine. That's a slight surprise. That door's locked. Let's scoot over here. There's at least a zombie here. Garbage bag, thank you very much. I'm trying not to get too blasé with lots of zombies. Having had success with killing off a lot of zombies. Oh, there's a pack of them there, so I need to be careful. What's in the back of this? Can I get in this? I haven't tested this guy yet. I can. Yeah, Moldra's good because it's long and spaced out. The problem with it is because it's long and spaced out, you don't really get the chance to, if you need to get anything, where you probably come across a lot of zombies one way or another. Oh, okay, this looks interesting. What's in here? The Hunter Magazine Volume 1. I always said I would keep my eye out for that. We will have exactly that. What's this? Newspaper. That couldn't have gone any better if I tried. So what's on that? What's on this rack apart from nothing? Look, it's got the icon to say it's got stuff on it, but it doesn't. Clearly doesn't. No. Oh right. Okay, you made your way over there, did you? Okay, so let's loot all of the pop. Good for the calories and water bottles. What we'll do is we'll just bung it in the back of the old spiffo. Something has candy package, chips, instant popcorn. Yeah, we'll have all of that. Mint candy. Okay, fine. We'll take some mint candies. I'm so surprised I found that Hunter magazine. Alright, so here, vitamins and adhesive bandages. Peanuts and instant popcorn. Pop and soda, that's good. Pop and soda. Have I officially run out of space in my backpack? I have, yeah. Okay, so we'll loot all of that because I'm just having it all. It's all mine. Oh, and that's a non-existent counter because I can walk straight through it. That's a bit rubbish. Yeah, it's a complete accident trying to find a place where I can work many zombies. It is. When you get going and you keep going and you keep getting pushed out by zombies and they keep coming and you keep moving and it does end up that kind of way, to be fair. Right, let's make like a tree. No, there was that one zombie just there a second ago. Where was that one? Oh, there's that one just there. We'll take care of that one. Make sure there's no others close by. Nothing to see here. I bet it was that one. I'm pretty much going to transfer all of this in the back of the van. Yeah, certainly not short of food and drink. Right, now I can be a bit more selective. I want those, that. Actually, I'll keep that. Candy package can go in. Berries come out of there. And my pencil. Not the brightest thing to do whilst there's zombies around, but we are away. Okay, so the next part of this is I need petrol. I need gas, as they say. Let's avoid the zombies because I like my van. And the petrol station's down here. I'm expecting a bad time of this, but I have a plan. First, I'm going to eat one of these because they're actually quite nice. Yeah, very nice. So, as you can see, I've got practically nothing. I've got less than a quarter of a tank. Right, so we've just raided this area just here. So this is West Point, and it's these 3 dots on the points of interest map here. So we raided that for food and some of the bits and bobs out in the back. We raided this shop here. And now we're driving down this road. And there's the garage. I'm expecting there to be a ton of zombies here. Let's just say it's an anticipation. So, but we're in the right area. We're in the right area. We just have to be careful and not damage our vehicle. Considering what that place was like, I'm expecting similar numbers with oh dear, that's bad. That's really bad. That's interesting. That's just gone black. Right, so here we are. This is the full. Oh yeah. Right, now what was I saying? Lots of zombies. Right, so this is the plan. Gonna sound the horn. Attract lots of zombies. And you're gonna say this is a bad idea. Now, I know you're going to say this is a bad idea, but let me tell you why this is a fantastic idea. Apart from the fact that it's raining. Now that I've become the Pied Piper of West Point, the point is that I'm going to take all of these zombies away from the garage. Right, so you're going to say that was stupid. But here's how this was useful. I'm going to ride around the block. Yep. Whilst creating a fruit salad. Because I'm that kind of awesome. Because I need to eat. Character needs to eat. But I need 2 hands on the steering wheel. Right, okay, so we're going to go up here. I think maybe that was the exit I needed. No, we need to go up to the white picket fences, don't we? Right, okay, so white picket fences. Again. There's the police department, so if I fancied a quick ravage through there. Oh yeah, there's quite a few Z's around here, look at that. They just end up in bunches all the time. They're not just small bunches either. I mean, these guys, there's like 9, 10 of them there. Right, white picket fences, there we go. These are the white picket fences, so we're going to turn around, go here. And you might recognise this road in a second. Because guess where we are? This is where I was previously. Hopefully my previous action will have cleared away a load of those zombies, so there'll only be a few stragglers for me to take care of, and I'll be able to fill up the truck, fill up the gas cans by using the generator and hooking that up. That bothers me. That patch of zombies just there. Right, okay, so here we go. Did that work? We might have to do it again. Because those guys are still there. All the while, look at them. Okay, so I wasn't entirely successful on the first run, so hopefully this will be a bit more successful. Trying to avoid the zombies. Right, now let's go around the block again. I'll just do a quick... Whoop! Too busy trying to do a quick toot there. Right, so follow this round one more time. Petrol is getting desperately short. This is where having a good distraction. Hey, they got out of the way, thank you. Got something on his back, satchel or something. Right, so it's, the thing that bothers me is this patch down here. this patch of zombies that are just on the side of the road. They seem to be doing something. I'm not entirely sure what. These guys. There seems to be a lot of dead ones there and a lot that aren't really doing anything. Right, this is looking better. Right, we'll drink a can of pop because we're hungry. We also need to eat something, so we will quickly whip up a bowl of fruit salad. No Z's. Tired. That's having an effect on our ability to fight. We've got some Z's coming in. I'm getting a 2 for here. Okay, a couple more coming in. Let's go forward and meet this one. Yeah, hello, tall-marked greybeard from Bournemouth. Fantastic. Hello, how are you? Welcome to Savvy Gadgets. If you've got any questions, let us know. Oh, there's a nightstick. That'll do. I love that. Thank you very much. A magnum. Guns are bad. We know guns are bad, but I pick them up anyway. Let's get rid of them into the backpack along with a pop. As we're not exactly at the moment in any kind of danger. Yes, you can burn the bodies. In fact, I tried to demonstrate this last week by... there was a video that was done by Nurse where you park with your driver's side up against something, get out the passenger side, put a fire beside your car, then get back in, lock the doors, get over to the driver's side, so that the driver's side is, they can't get to the driver's side, they have to get through another car or through, if you park next to a wall, and then as they come and if you sound the horn like I was doing earlier, they walk over the fire and then set fire to themselves and then they just burn out. But yeah, it's a very valid tactic. Right, so let's we're still hungry, so let's make another salad, which will keep my happiness levels up. Now, because I've done the whole Pied Piper thing, hopefully that means there's no stragglers. And it is. It's looking good. So what I'm going to do, back in the van, I'm going to go park the van next to the pump. Like so. Now I have to get the generator. Take generator. I can then drop the generator because it's doing me a lot of damage. Maybe I can place it. Drop generator, there we go. And I can connect the generator. This is where life gets a little bit more interesting. I then have to take one of the gas cans, siphon petrol out of the car. Yeah, you heard that. Because it's on this side, of course. Where else would it be? Add that to the generator. Now, hopefully those other zombies are far enough away. Then I can actually go to the pump and actually click on the thing there and go refuel from gas pump. And it will start doing that. And so I will end up with a full tank, basically. And once I've done that, I've got a full tank of gas. I can get the other gas cans, fill them up, put them in the back of the car, then stop the generator and take the generator with me. I've got all the gas I need in the car, some spare gas in the gas tanks, and that, you know, I might even find some more lighters. This is going far too well, I am sorry, but something's got to go hideously wrong, it usually does. I can't have achieved my goal in 45 minutes. It's just not. It's just not a thing for this channel. Let's face it. Well, time for an Arnott's shapes then. Lovely. Absolutely spiffing. Okay, take fuel. I'm very tired though. That's usually a bad thing. Gas can in the back. Empty gas can in my hands. Take fuel. And then I can disconnect my generator. Stop my generator, disconnect it. Put it in the back of the van. And I've got lots of gas. It's a thing, you know. Generator turn off. Disconnect the generator. Well, I could leave the generator here, but I actually want to pick it up. It's not letting me pick it up. Why aren't you letting me pick up the generator? Take generator, there it is. Finally it's giving me the option. Into the back of the van with it. Oh yeah. Have you not played this game yet? It is a very deep game, you're right. It always has been an in-depth game, which is one of it. It's one of those. Oh, hello. I think there's. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, that one's actually pre-broken. Right. Yeah. So if you've got any questions, ask. We've got quite a knowledgeable crew on the channel. It has to be said. Right. Okay. So. One of the first things that people do is they go straight in at survival mode. Don't try and go in at builder. You'll have a much better experience. You'll have it's a more leisurely experience as it's described, and that's a good thing because it's very much a case of people join the game and they get killed within a few minutes because they don't really know what they're doing. There is a big learning curve, and people tend to end up like dissing the game and saying how bad it is and all the rest of it when it isn't the case. It is very in depth, as you've said, and it's only getting better. It has got just before Christmas multiplayer was added, so you've now got multiplayer stuff going on. And actually I'm actually going to stop here and talk a bit. So multiplayer was added just before Christmas, and that's going really, really well. And I was actually looking at some videos which were done by another Project Zomboid player, someone called Mr. Atomic Duck, and he's done some wonderful videos, and they're well worth a watch. And he did one recently on NPCs, and they are adding NPCs into the game. You know, other characters that are not zombies. And from what I understand from his video is that it's going to be quite in depth. The description that he gives, which was one of the devs talking, is that you may come across a survivor who is, you know, fearful of joining groups, because you can now, with these NPCs, if you played Super Survivors, or you saw me on my previous videos playing Super Survivors, it's kind of like that, where you build a community, and you've got characters with specific skills. So you may have one that's you know, gardener, cook, one's a trapper, one's a forager, and you build a community around that. But this also, interestingly enough, and before I go there, so you've got this survivor, you've come across him, but he doesn't want to join groups because, and his backstory is that he saw his wife ripped to pieces by zombies, and it was because of somebody else in his community group made that happen. It was an accident, but he saw that, and so he's fearful of groups. But the point is these survivors, these NPCs, will have lives off screen. So they may change when you come back. It might be possible that you've set up a nice base, and some NPCs come along and start shooting at you because they want what you've got. Who knows? But then this all leads into the other things that I was saying last week, where they're introducing animals like pigs and sheep, and that you can start characters years after the zombie apocalypse has actually happened. So after the original apocalypse event, you can now you'll be able to play characters years after, but then the professions will be different as well. So whereas you may have a burger flipper as a profession, that's not going to be your thing. So you're going to have sort of tanners, leather workers, and that sort of thing. And that all builds into the whole multiplayer aspect of community and this whole NPC community idea. So that's where all of that is going with Project Zomboid. So they've always added bits and bits in. Now the NPC thing, as they said, was delayed because of the multiplayer stuff that they added in before December. They've been working hard on that, and because it's embedded in that quite a bit, they've had to delay that kind of thing. But they're going to release it and improve on it as it goes on, because it's the processing trees of it are quite in depth. But they have had 500 NPCs on the map doing their own thing wherever they happen to be, and the demo video was quite cool. So anyway, yes, Trollmart, go for build mode, watch some videos, understand the basics of I don't get bitten by zombies if you can help it. When you do, where to get bandages from. So I will show you that. If you stay tuned, I'll show you where to get some bandages from, to quickly bandage yourself up to stem bleeding, because one of the quickest things that you will die from is bleeding out. And where you can find food. I'll show you how to forage as well when I get back to my base. Foraging is useful in urban environments as well as rural environments, whereas previously that wasn't a thing. So let's get on with it. So that was, what was in there? Rotten stuff. We don't want rotten stuff. What's this? Light bulb, wrench. Got a wrench, but on the off chance I'll just snag it anyway. Magazine, comic books. We'll loot those because I might, just to relieve boredom. That again, that says it's got something in. I'm not going to go into the toilets. I have bad experience with public toilets and zombies. It's just a thing. I think I've got all the performance models for mechanics. Right, so a quick bit about mechanics for Trollmart's information, and for anybody watching. So if you want to do mechanics in the game, you need to have 3 magazines. Now, each magazine represents a different type of vehicle within the game, of which there are only 3 types. There's the standard model, there is the performance models, and then there's the commercial models. So commercial models are obviously vans and pickups, that kind of thing. Standard models are like your taxis and your sort of like estate cars, whereas your performance models are your little compacts. And in order to start doing maintenance on those cars, you need to read the relevant magazine. So here I've got the one for performance models. So I read that. I will then be able to work on mechanics on performance models. Now beyond that, there's the books. The books will give you XP boosts when you read them. So if we have a look at my current list of stats, not that one, it's the heart and the skills, you can see that here next to carpentry, cooking, fishing, trapping and foraging, I've got little arrows. Right, that's because I've read books to do with that level. So they're split up into 5 different levels, the books. But if you don't have the book collection mod, then these will be called something different. But you need to get level 1 covers the first two blobs here, level 1 and 2. The second book obviously covers 3 and 4. The third book 5 and 6, and fourth 7 and 8, and then so on and so forth. But there's 5 books per skill under crafting and survivalist. So you've got 5 books for carpentry, cooking, farming, first aid, blah blah blah, and obviously fishing, trapping and foraging. And so you read the relevant book for your current skill level, and it will give you an XP boost. At the moment, my foraging, because it's level 4, almost level 5, it has a multiplier of 5. But the other ones, they've only got obviously I haven't finished reading the trapping guide because that's a multiplier of 0.9. So I've got to finish reading that, whereas the fishing one I have, and I've got a multiplier of 3. So, but then once you actually start performing these skills, you actually gain experience in them and they will level up. That's how it works. Right, so let's see what else we can find here before we run amok to our house. Yep, we'll have all of that, thank you very much. Sugary treats are always good. Yeah, the book collection makes it a lot easier. Oh, empty bucket. Yeah, I'll just grab that. I'll just grab all of that. Just for the sake of it, mostly. What I am looking for, of course, are any other lighters that I can find. Oh, that's almost disappointing that a gas station doesn't have lighters. Well, I have picked up 3, so it's not a complete disaster. But, yeah, I like the way I can just walk straight through that counter. Right, let's check out the... let's be brave. Let's check out the toilets. Weapons up. Okay. Garbage bag. Take the garbage bag because we make rain collector barrels out of that. We're going to have a quick drink out of there. Fill any bottles that we can. Empty bottle. I'm actually going to fill the bucket as well with fresh water. And put that back in my backpack so it's not weighing me down, basically. Right, so it's getting dark. So I'm getting to the point where I really need to sort of like head back home, where there is less zombies. Damn it. What's this? Storeroom. Okay, can't really see a great deal, but there's some bleach. Box of nails. Is that it? Is that it? It's just that. Bleach and box of nails. Alright, well, we'll grab all of that then. Might as well while we're here. Let's check out these counters. Empty pop can. I just put that there, didn't I? Plastic bag. Right, okay, fine. There's nothing here. I get it. Right, let's check the bin outside. I think I already did that, didn't I? Right, okay. That, as we say, is a very successful run. Just going to check out the other bin because I think I need one more. Oh, there's cockroach. Okay, fine. Cockroaches are okay, but I've got plenty of them, and you can forage them. Yeah, you do actually get, now that you've got the whole multiplayer thing, roleplay servers. I actually recently became 50 myself, so and I used to do D&D, that sort of thing when I was younger, but then the advent of home computing really sort of kicked off, and so that sort of like became more of a focus for me. But yeah, welcome to the channel. Like I say, if you've got any questions. Now, I actually also checked out some video this week, and it's the only one I've seen of it, of a very similar looking game to Project Zomboid, and it's free at the moment on Steam if you want to check it out. It's just a demo, and it's called Humanitz, yeah, or Humanitz, depending on where you come from, really. The guy who was doing the video pretty much said the same thing. It's like, you know, how would you pronounce this? That's not right. Where have I gone? I've gone wrong somewhere. I am officially at the wrong place. Let's check the map. So I came out, went there. I think I'm here on this corner. I think I need to go back, get to that picket fence just there, and then turn left, and then I'm on my way home up here. The link to this map, if you're interested in it, is actually in the description below. Right, so let's turn the Spiffo wagon round, and then sort of take the next get off that one. Good old Spiffo. Right, yeah, that's where we were. I really like the look of some of those cars. That might be a thing. Like I say, I've got that little Wodjima thingy vehicle. Oh, there's the picket fence. Let's turn left and head up here, and it's pretty much a straight journey. That little performance car, which is pretty much knackered. What I'll do is like get some of the petrol that I've just nicked from the garage. Oh god, no, I don't want to do that. Don't want to damage my car. And then bring that down, perhaps get one of those vehicles instead, but for that I will need to increase my mechanics and my electronics skills so that I can hotwire the car. Yes, you can hotwire cars, but you need to build up the skills in mechanics and electronics first. You need electronics level 2 and mechanics level 1, I think. In fact, I'm pretty sure there is. Right, one of the other tips and tricks that I can partake to you today that you will find useful when you're first playing this game is to use the TV. I know that sounds counterintuitive because the TV makes noise. When you first start, at 6 o'clock in the morning, and get yourself a digital watch, because you can then set the alarm on a digital watch to remind you, as if you don't remember anyway, because the classic watches don't have that on. They don't have the alarm feature. Yeah. Is that 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and 6 o'clock in the evening on the Life and Living channel, if you tune it to the Life and Living channel. And you don't have to be sitting there watching it. You can be sitting around the TV or doing stuff near it. And you will actually get training in 4 different areas. You will get training in carpentry, cooking. It will also help relieve boredom and unhappiness. Trapping and fishing. So it's worth it. You'll get that knowledge going, and you'll get a few levels in a couple of those to start off. So it is really useful. Is it that? Do I need to go? Or do I go to a T junction? I'll go to a T junction. Okay, yeah. So I'm just trying to remember where the hell I am in the game at the minute. Right, so I always pick the outdoorsman perk as well when I'm creating a character, purely because if you're walking through trees and bushes and things like that, or it's raining like it is, you are less affected by it. You can catch a cold in this game, and if you catch a cold, it is an absolute swine to get rid of without lots of medication, lots of bed rest, and of course lots of food. And so if you do have a cold and you're working your way around Project Zomboid for this, that and the other or whatever, and you're coughing and hacking and sneezing, you of course will attract the zombies because you're making noise. So that's something else to be mindful of when you're picking your character. You can protect yourself against the elements, of course, if you pick up an umbrella and you hold the umbrella in one hand and a one-handed weapon in the other. See, lots of pro tips here. But right now my pro tip is I need to turn off the lights so it doesn't use up the batteries. And then tomorrow, after I've been in, slept, had something to eat. Yeah. Food. What are we doing? Food. Right. So bleach. Bleach can go into this cupboard over here. Bleach. Blah blah blah. Water bottle that can go. Where do I keep my water bottles? That's medicine. I don't think I picked up anything particularly medicine wise. But garbage bags go in there. I've got 6 on my garbage bag short. That's almost annoying. Nightstick weapons and that go in there. Put the soda bottles in there as well, and the pop. Actually, they really ought to go in the food with the food, don't they? But not to worry. So I've got two. I've got 2 lighters. Where'd the other one go? I picked up 3 lighters. I know I picked up 3 lighters, but according to this, I've only got 2 now. Interesting. Okay, well at least I've got 2 lighters. I can always go and scavenge other things. Bottles of water. Let's get rid of 3 bottles of water. They're full. Don't really need that many, but it's always useful to have fresh water lying around. Now that cupboard is full, so let's go for the next one. Peanuts, sunflower seeds, chocolate candy, beef jerky. Oh yeah, I'll bet that light is in the back of the truck. All that in there. I'm going to put the bucket of water in there as well. Cigarettes I'm keeping in the cupboard just inside the front door, along with weapons and that sort of thing. Just there. Put the bleached cigarettes, the Magnum, the nightstick, the sponge and the wrench. They can all go there. No, they can't. They all there. Okay, right. So bleached cigarettes, Magnum, nightstick, sponge, wrench. They can all go on the floor then. Instead. Okay, so let's get rid of that, and then it's midnight. I'll quickly grab something to eat. That keeps going until the morning. So keeping a bowl in your hand and a knife, about a meat cleaver, a carving knife, a hunting knife, any kind of knife, really useful. Let's eat that. Now, if you're overloaded, if you're carrying really heavy stuff, you will actually cause yourself physical damage. And that will be denoted by the fact that your heart, this icon over here on the left, will start shaking left and right. It'll start moving left and right to say that you're overcarrying. Nope, they don't. They stay exactly where they are. Right, this is also another pro tip for you. If you're foraging and you come across a frog, yeah, you can actually turn a frog with a knife into fillet steaks. However, the frog will not go rotten. It will also not move. So if you put it on the floor, say in your cupboard, or you put it in a cupboard in your kitchen, and you find multiple of them, you've got a supply of fresh meat to eat that doesn't go anywhere and stays completely fresh. Fantastic, that is. Let's put that box of nails on the floor. But that is just really useful. So is that it for food? Yeah. Okay. All right. So perhaps I'll need to go. Let's call it a night. I've eaten. I can eat tomorrow. Right. So our endeavours. You can see it's snowing outside as well. This character, as the title of the stream says, was started after I'd previously played with other characters in this for 3 months. It was like 3 months I played the other characters and then started this new one. So yeah, it's made life a lot harder for me because quite a lot of places are overgrown. Now, it was quite interesting. It's like we actually found a cooler, which is currently outside here. This is going to be cold, isn't it? I need something to eat. So this cooler box, it actually had fish in it. It was on one of the houses on the other side. Or is it this one? It might be still there. But the cooler box actually had fish in it, which had obviously been there for 3 months because it'd been caught. And it wasn't until I actually came across it, looked at it, it's a bit sort of like Schrodinger's fish. Until I actually looked at it, it didn't start actually going rotten, which was quite interesting. Now you can see my fine pile of rubbish just there. Rotten food, if you put it in a composter, if you build a composter, you need a low level of carpentry. It was all rotten food that you find, or any food that goes off, you put it in the composter. Eventually it'll actually start producing worms. So you can use that as bait for fishing. Right, but we need food. We need to eat. I'm just going to put this water bottle in there. Right, so again, what can we do food-wise? Not a lot because I don't have any berries. I don't have any things. So I think I'm going to have to go for a reasonably cheerless meal here. Right, soup is always useful. Canned food. Canned food is quite handy because it doesn't go off, it doesn't go rotten. But if you eat canned food straight off the bat, it gives you an unhappiness hit, and obviously the more unhappy you are, the more depressed you are. That's going to cause you problems. So one of the things you can do is, this is why I do foraging, and I have the bowl. Is if you find mushrooms and you find berries whilst you're out and about foraging, and I will demonstrate that in just a minute, you will find that if you cut them up, they actually create you a meal that keeps you happy. It gives you positive happiness instead of negative happiness. So that's an important point. So what we will do, because again this comes back to the fact that I don't actually have much in the way of pans and things. I've got plenty of buckets of water. Pots and pans are quite important to collect as well if you come across them. Alcohol takes away all your worries, but obviously it wears you out pretty quick. You become really sleepy pretty quick, but it takes away your hunger and your thirst. So I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet here. I don't want to eat any chocolate because chocolate's used in traps, although I don't actually have any traps yet. I'm actually going to eat the cereal. I'm going to eat the cereal because cereal gives you a plus 40 happiness food boost. So that should go from hungry to full, which is what's happened. Right. Okay, foraging. One of my favourite pastimes in this game. Right, okay, so foraging is important because it supplies you with food and materials, even if you're in an urban environment or not. Okay, so this was introduced again a few months ago, so it is fairly new. Originally, what used to happen is you used to right-click an area of ground and you get the option to forage. Your character would go to that point where you clicked, they would sit there and then you'd be able to say, I want to find food, I want to find medical plants, I want to find this, I want to find that. and the character would sit there and scavenge, and it would just magically come into your character and end up in your backpack, and it would tell you that was going on. So that was updated and it was changed. So now you use this icon on the left, which is the investigate area. Now, what's important here is the icon in the window, this picture. What this is telling you is the type of environment you're scavenging in, or you're trying to investigate and forage from. So we've got a road, and it quite basically says in the pop-up bit where it says road, stones are abundant. So these will be chip stones, maybe even big stones, but you'll find other common items, or you'll find other items that are common, but animals are rare, firewood is rare, berries extremely rare. It's interesting it says berries rather than berries and mushrooms or just food. Now that's changed even now, but you've got two things. I mean, the icon here, foraging tips, tells you quite a bit about it, but obviously it's pretty much the same. But this eye is also new. Now you can see that foraging is affected by a couple of things. It's affected by the mood of your character. If your character has negative moods, then they will be less effective at finding things foraging. It's also affected by the weather, and that's clearly indicated here by the orange bit of writing, which says minus 46%. It's actually minus 46.39% because of the weather. Then we can actually negate that to a degree, but all of these others are bonus radius, bonus weather effect. Darkness, obviously light and dark is as an effect. If it's dark, you're less likely to see that mushroom that you just walked past, and so on and so forth. But there's quite a bit there for you to work on. Right. So there are, back to the picture, there are different zones. So you've got road and you've got urban. You've also got, and you'll see these as you're going along, you've got vegetation, forest and deep forest. Whereas I think with, I don't know whether there's a city version of the sort of like, so you've got like road, urban, then city. I don't think I've ever seen one, but trip to Louisville might sort that out. So to enable this mode, if you're using a keyboard, you can just press the end key, or you can hit the enable search bit just there. Now what will happen is the area around you will fuzz out, and there will be a smaller area around you where you're actually going to discover things. Now back to this eye, it's actually dropped to 19% now, weather effect. Now that's because it's no longer snowing, it's raining. Now you can increase this in two different ways. You can crouch, and then you get a crouching bonus of plus 10%, so that's negating 10% of that weather effect. The other thing you can do is if you press and hold the right mouse button, so you're in aim mode, it should now be a plus 33% to aiming bonus. So you're now being more effective, and you're negating that weather effect of 21%. So you're still getting about an 11% bonus to your foraging. Now, I'm after food, so I'm not particularly worried about this particular area. Right, so this icon also, if you come across the icon, if I just, look, deep forest, there we go. If I just run over here, I think at some point it just goes... Basically, this will turn to a set of question marks. If you come across a set of an area that's just got question marks, you will not find anything. That's what it's trying to tell you, and it will tell yourself. So, deep forest, you'll find firewood's common, animals are common, mushrooms are common, berries are rare, stones are rare, medical plants are rare, others are extremely rare. Although I've found the odd cologne and petrol can and screwdriver. So there is actually an area of vegetation down here, which I regularly forage. It's just down past these things, I think. So it actually says this is an urban area. It's not exactly true because I'm standing in the middle of a forest. And it actually says for an urban area you'll find others common animals are common. So this is the point where foraging is really useful in an urban area. We'll find dead animals and food. Dead animals, you can carve them up into fillets and cook them. So that's another source of meat. The other source of meat is fishing, of course. Right, forest. Now, I'm not particularly interested in forests, because forest is firewood animals. Animals also means cockroaches, crickets, and that sort of thing, which you can use as bait. Right. Okay, so the character's actually found something. And an eye icon appears above their head. You've got a little arrow on the floor, and if we zoom in, you can see they've actually found something, and this is actually a pine cone. Pine cone is used as firewood. I'm not particularly worried about that because I've picked up a ton of them, so I'm just going to discard it. Now, I still get experience for discarding it, so that's not a problem. I still gain the XP from doing this because I've actually found it, and I've thought, oh, actually, no, I don't need that. I'm going to get rid of it. Right, so now we're vegetation. So it now says animals are common, firewood's common, food is common, mushrooms are rare, berries are rare. Right, now running actually cancels it. So let's do the aim thingy and take a slow walk. See if we can find anything. So this increases our circle, increases our ability to find things, but obviously it's slow. Now, doing this whilst it's dark is an extremely bad idea for a couple of reasons. One, you're less likely to find something. Two, when you've turned the sort of search mode on and you've got this sort of like greyed out area around you, in the dark it's next to impossible to see the zombies, and you won't know they're coming at you until it's too late generally. So there you go. Marjuk, hello, welcome to the Savvy Gadgets channel. I've just seen your message. I'm sorry if I've ignored you. I've just been explaining our foraging system. We've actually had quite a successful session this time. I actually managed to find a fair bit of loot at like a roadside cafe and a petrol station. It's a shame I just can't open my mouth and look upwards just to get water. Now it's interesting that it said berries and mushrooms are rare. Does that mean if I move into a sort of more foresty area like this, that I'm more likely to find berries? I don't think, I can't remember. Right, okay, so obviously whilst you're doing this and you're walking around, or, oh hello, here we go, look what we found. We found a chipstone. And we are in deep forest where animals are common, food is common, medicinal plants are common, but mushrooms are common, but berries are rare. Okay, so I don't particularly want the chipstone. Chipstones are you use to create spears with. You need a tree branch and a chipstone, and I think you need a rip sheet which you get off of clothing. You can right click clothing and turn them into rip sheets. They become, yep, eating bad food will make you sick and quite possibly kill you. Sleeping outside in the elements will also kill you. Yeah, because you're exposed basically. I made that mistake and I'm not making it again. I was doing really well right up until the point I said, oh, it's really tired, there's no zombies around, I'm just going to fall asleep, and I just basically died from exposure. So yeah. But eating rotten food or bad food will make you feel really, really unwell. It will make you feel sick. That'll have an effect on your health. That'll have an effect on your ability to fight. So if you get into a fight, you won't be able to fight zombies off. If you're overexerted, if you're carrying too much in your backpack, it gives you a little icon on the right hand side, and basically it says you're overloaded. If you're overloaded, then it's a case of you will get more exhausted more, and you'll get like a little pair of lungs icon, and that means you're struggling to breathe, you're having problems basically keeping up, and that will continue to deteriorate until you can no longer fight. Yeah? So at the end, you end up getting... Oh, stones. I really don't need stones. Discard the stone. I want food. Failing that. Okay, so foraging's always been useful. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in-game. Thanks, because I've actually picked up a watch. You don't start with a watch or any other ability to tell time. Again, water's the same. If you drink bad water, that can also have an effect to make you feel sick. What's this? Found an eye icon, and we found another stone. I don't want stones. Discard the stone. I want food. Give me food. Not doing very well with this today. Oh, okay. Well, as you can see, they've got a glass icon. I'm very dehydrated. Now, I could drink water from my bottle. Now, whether this is because I'm playing builder mode rather than survival mode, I can actually drink out of the river. Or out of the lake. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, 2 things. Pine cones and stickies. Right, so pine cones we don't want. Again, tree branches are useful because they make spears, which are one of the... They're actually the best weapons in the game. And if you actually create them with the chipstone and you have a good carpentry level, you actually make a really good durable spear. And they are a very, very, very good weapon. But I'm actually going to pick them up. You could also use them to make axes and hammers and, you know, tools and that sort of thing, just as you would in quite a lot of these sort of like survival games. Right, but I'm more worried about my overall thirst. It says I'm dehydrated. So I'm actually not going to be too worried about foraging at the moment. Now, I think I've got a spear in my backpack. No, I don't. I have to go pick one up. Alright, there's the lake. Look. For some reason, it now thinks I'm in a road. Oh, I've just got off the road, haven't I? Okay, that's fine. I'm kind of disappointed. Oh, right. So there's the icon I was talking about. It says nothing here. You won't find anything if you're foraging, allegedly. Whereas last week I proved that that's not entirely the case because I was in an area like that and found something. It's like, oh, right, okay. Okay, so we're not doing very well for foraging. Foraging is proving to be less food useful, as we would say. Right, so because I'm out in a rural area, there are less zombies around. They tend to hang around in towns more than anything. Nescafe Gold Vanilla Latte. Right, so let's grab a spear. Got one in the back of the van. Right, so I'm going to do a couple of things here. You can see that they have varying different conditions on them. Now, if you're... Depending on the condition of the spear depends on how long it's going to last you in a fight, which generally isn't very long. I'm going to grab this spear. I'm going to head back out to this lake. I'm also going to go, because I've actually got a stash over here in this bit. Oh yeah, there's that cool box with the fish in it. I've actually had the fish out of there and eaten it now. Desperation is a thing, you know. Right, so in the back of this van, I've actually got a stash of fishing gear, which was just laying around here. So, as you can see, I've got a couple of cockroaches, I've got some lures, so I'm going to demonstrate fishing. So we've got a fishing rod, I've got 4 fishing rods in varying conditions. So that one I'm actually going to take. I'm going to take the fishing line, or at least one fishing line, with me as well. I'm going to take the worms. I'm not going to take the tackle, unless I don't get any worms or cockroaches and that sort of thing. Right, so there are 2 different ways of fishing. You can create yourself a spear, And then you get yourself up to a body of water, and you right click on the body of water. It gives you the option to go fishing, and you can choose the bag. So I want the fish to go into my hiking bag, which is my backpack. Now I can either use the crafted spear or I can use the fishing rod. If I use the fishing rod, I get to choose the bait. Now remember, you've got your back to, you're facing the lake, you've got your back to everything else. So it's usually it's a reasonably dangerous pastime. Now fishing with a rod, I believe, is more effective than fishing with a spear. But again, every time you use a spear, you're gaining experience. I mean, especially if you're attacking like fish, you actually gain experience in, not that, where is it? There's the whole icon. L. You actually gain I'm not entirely spear. So hopefully my spear will start going up. So we'll start off with some spear. So hiking bag, just go okay, and then it'll just get your spear out, and then we'll just sit there and fish. You'll sit there and wallop, and eventually you'll catch something. But you know, it takes a long time. That's the thing. So let's take a look at our fishing. I've already got 1 XP from fishing just by stubbing the water. Well, maybe I caught something before. I don't know. Well, of course, we can speed that up, but that's generally a bad thing. Oh, look, because I drank the water, I'm feeling sick. I'm getting queasy. You can cure that with lemongrass, which is another foraged item. It's one of the medicinal plants. Right. There's no zombies around and I know it, so I'm just going to go full speed. And I'm not having any luck with that. So what I'll do is I'll swap it out. I will now go fishing with a rod, and I'll use the cockroach. Now hopefully I'll get a fish out of this. If not, I'll get some experience at the very least. And to strike out with fish and foraging is bad, because then that leads on to the next one, which is trapping. Right. Speed it up a bit, see if we can actually catch something. Now, the thing about fishing though is quite often you will catch something, and it will be a pair of socks or a pair of shoes. And for some reason, I've lost my cockroach, but I don't think I've got anything in my bag. No. Oh, I caught some shoes. Yay! Oh, that's going into my main inventory, that's why. Yeah, caught a pair of shoes. But that obviously did give me some experience. Right, let's see if my worm can catch something vaguely fishy. Okay, well, that lucked out. Nothing. Not a thing. I've got no lure anymore, so he's stopped fishing. So this is bad. So if we have a quick look at, let's close that window and then have a quick look at my skills. I've actually gone up a little bit on my fishing purely because I caught a pair of shoes. Oh, it's just bad when you start off. You're just a really bad fisherman. I'm going to put the spear in there, the fishing line, and obviously the fishing rod. So at least I've got plenty of fishing rods and stuff, but I'm going to just drop the shoes because the shoes are of no use to me whatsoever. I'm not putting them in that odd toolbox either. There's nothing in the toolbox as usual. So I've kind of struck out on food today. This is really, really bad. So that means I have to resort to my cans. I didn't find any berries, I didn't find any mushrooms, so I can't create a salad or a fruit salad. I'm going to have to rely on the cans of stuff that I've found. It suddenly just dawned on me that my daughter might have meant drawing pins. When she was asking me in the chat, my daughter was asking me in the chat where the pins were. Alright, so this is where the food comes into it a lot. Having a good stash of food. Alright, because there's no electricity, there's no water. Well, unless I actually connect up my generator. But then the generator only lasts for so long and obviously takes up petrol. Got plenty of farming things, so I could start growing stuff. I've got some carrot seeds. Got a trowel, so I can actually do some growing. Water, I've got buckets, so I can water with buckets. So there's a possibility. Carrots grow reasonably quick. Okay. Right, I just want to check something out. Now I've got 2 lighters in my inventory. Ah, and there's 3 in the back of the van. That's exactly what I was hoping to find. Okay, cool. I'm going to take the Hunter magazine. And the Engineer magazine. And we'll go check out my book collection. Because apparently I need to, one of those, I think it was trapping. Yeah, you can make traps, and I think that's what we'll do. Right, so magazine. So I actually need to read the Hunter magazine. Now the magazines for any given skill will give you blueprints and guides, cooking recipes and that sort of thing. They teach you the basics of mechanics, and with mechanics you also need things like screwdrivers, a lug wrench, a car jack, a battery charger, that sort of thing, so that you can actually maintain cars. With electronics, it gives you different blueprints on building distractions, traps and that kind of thing for zombies. Things that will save your bacon, basically. So let's read the Hunter magazine. Let's read that. That won't take long. Even though my character has, when I created her, she has a negative trait, because if you add, you only get, like, I think it's 8 points to actually create a character with. So, as a role player, Tolmart, you might be familiar with this as a system. Whereas, if you have a negative trait, no, they don't. They stay. I'll actually do it there. So I'm reading this particular magazine at the minute, the Hunter magazine. I'm just going to put it in my shelf, just there with all of those. There's all of my other books. Yeah, for some reason they're all in reverse order. So now some of them do. So if it's a non-named magazine like this one, like comic book or magazine, you read them, they reduce stress and reduce boredom, but they then disappear. Those ones do disappear. But books and, you know, magazines like these ones, like Angler US magazine, it's a named thing. It doesn't. Good Cooking magazine, Hunter magazines. Then there's electronics and mechanics, Guerrilla Radio, the Lane's Auto Manuals. You see, I've got another magazine in there. So let's put those ones in there as well, because sometimes it's just useful to have something about that just helps you relieve your depression. Dish towels, towels in general, if your character gets wet, you can use them to dry yourself off with. Again, useful because if you get cold, you catch a cold, you will start sneezing and coughing, and of course if you're in an urban area and there's lots of zombies around, they'll know where you are. They'll be able to find you. Exactly, yeah, you can start up your own library. 2 bookshelves should be enough to hold all of the books and all of the magazines. So I tend to split them out so that one has all of your sort of electronics, mechanics, and that kind of thing, all the non-food related skills in one, and then the food related skills like cooking, foraging, trapping, farming, fishing go in another, and along with their respective magazines. But I'm in a really bad state at the moment. I am actually going to try and cook some canned soup. Now, I have tried this before and I don't think it worked very well. I'm going to get rid of that light bulb. I was fed up with carrying that around. Light bulb on the floor. There we go. I actually might, yeah. Tree branches, they can go on the floor as well. No, I don't need the matches because I've got a lighter. Right, so again, oh, they're actually in decent condition as well, so I'll put that in there. Right, so I do actually have a barbecue over in the other. I've got to move it at some point. I'm not entirely sure whether I can pick it up and drag it over. I can cut down some of those trees and do some farming, which is relatively easy. But this is why I've been collecting cigarettes. In a previous playthrough, believe it or not, cigarettes are used as a pesticide. So we use water, you use cigarettes, you create a pesticide, and then you can keep your plants healthy if you get a particular type of fly, fly pest. Right, so barbecues, fuel, fires, that kind of thing. You add fuel to them. This can be scrap wood, pine cones, other bits of wood that you like, planks, logs, anything like that. But you do also need something to light them with. I'm going to use some rip sheets and the lighter. That's why I've got a lighter. And it should light the barbecue. Now I'm kind of hoping, so the barbecue's lit. And then I'm going to put on the canned soup. Now I'm not entirely sure whether this is going to work or not, because I think I actually need a pan for the barbecue. But normally what happens is you get like an idea of whether it's cooking or not. And it is going red, but usually you get like a bar. If it's like a piece of meat that you're cooking, fish or poultry, you know, that kind of something like that, it actually has a little line turn up underneath it, and it tells you how far along it is from being cooked. So I'm not entirely sure how this is at the minute. But the nice thing about soups is they don't just help your hunger, they also help your thirst. For every can in the game, almost every can in the game, you will need a can opener. Oh, I haven't opened it yet. That'll be useful. Let's open it first. Might get an idea of what's going on then. Ah, yeah, see, it says nutrition. Hunger and thirst. Let's see if it actually starts cooking. I don't think it does, even though it's in a can. I literally think you need to empty it into a pot or something. But oddly enough, soup doesn't give you a negative on your unhappiness. Okay, let's grab that let's put the barbecue out so it doesn't burn out and I have to put more stuff into it, and then just eat a can of soup, and hopefully that will take away my hunger and my thirst mostly, or not, as the case may be. Yay! Ah, so annoying. Alright, but I'm going to put my character to sleep because it's late. I've absolutely caned that other building for furniture. I'm guessing because it's winter it's going to be that much harder to find food from foraging. Otherwise shutting the door behind me. Sleep. There we go. So that was actually a really successful day for this character. Managed to find a lot of food. Managed to find one of the magazines they were missing. And they're very hungry, very thirsty. I need to get food going. Right, okay, so let's not run around and vault over things unnecessarily. Hunger seems to be the most pressing thing. Yep, you can. You just, like we used it before, you pick it up, and this will actually cause you damage because it's heavy. You put it next to the house, you connect it, you turn it on, and voila, electrics. I can demonstrate if you really like. In fact, I will do exactly that. And of course, the nice thing about that is, of course, is it then I think gives us the option to cook on the hob. But of course, it uses petrol. Right, I'm just gonna back up the car because I don't really want to carry that thing too far and cause myself too much damage. Generator, take the generator. I think I can connect it because I've got a screwdriver. I'm not entirely sure. But we will drop the generator over there. Okay, I'll drop it there and connect the generator. And go turn it on. And there we go. Lights. Power. And then if I go to my cooker, I should be able to turn it on. Turn it on, turn it off. And it should cook things now. But yes, you can. And that's how you do it. And of course, generators need maintenance. And so if you look at it, it says it's got 30% fuel, but its condition is 100%. Now there is a magazine that you can find that says how to use generators, which I think helps you maintain it, and so it's less likely to run down really quick. But it's only got a little bit of fuel on it because that's what I managed to get out of my car. Right, so one of the next things that's on my docket is water. I don't have fresh water. I'm having to drink out of the lake, as you've seen me do. Now, you may notice this odd construction above the jutting out the side of the house. Now, that wasn't there when I got here. I've built that myself. And the way I did that is I actually climbed out of this window and started building along here. Now, there is actually a gantry along here. Now, the point is at some point, when my carpentry skill is good enough, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build under carpentry, under furniture, a rain collector barrel, and it's this square one. Now I don't quite have the carpentry skill. I need a carpentry skill of level 4 to do this, and then I'm going to put it here on that particular bit just above this window, because just above this window, or just inside this window, is the sink. And then once I've done that, I have a pipe wrench, which I've found. Not just a wrench, a pipe wrench. It's a specific item. Makes a good weapon as well. Decent one-handed weapon. If I can find it. There, pipe wrench. And I use that on the sink and it should plumb in water. Now it will take the water from the rain catcher barrel and it will come through the tap as clean water. Yeah? So you have a clean amount of water to drink. But I am missing the carpentry skill at the minute. So yeah, 233 out of 750. So, carpentry then. Now, previously the way I've levelled carpentry is to just dismantle everything. So for that you really need a hammer and a saw in your inventory. So picking up tools is a good idea, basically, just having tools around or in places where you can get to them. One of the things that I would really dearly love to find is a sledgehammer. But right, so we're in this kitchen. I can right click and disassemble this wooden chair. So I've got 233.25 at the moment. Again, this creates noise, attracts zombies. So doing this in an area where there's next to no zombies, like where I am, is really useful. Okay, so I didn't make any materials from that. However, I did go up to 239. I gained 6 experience from that. And I have the biggest multiplier. And so this is how you go through houses dismantling stuff, and it builds up your carpentry skill. But obviously having the books to back it up that give you the XP boost, very, 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 very useful. Now you can dismantle all of the units, or the kitchen units. You can dismantle doors, tables, chairs, and you might get planks and rotten lemon. What? Planks and nails out of it, which are usable materials. You can actually disassemble fridges and freezers and cookers, provided you've got the propane torch and you've got the welding mask, which I haven't found yet. That's another one of the let's hunt for a welding mask live streams in the future. But that will increase your metalworking skill, of course. So there we go. As you say, Tolmar, it is very, very in depth. So one of the other things that you can do, as if you're unhappy, is you can listen to music. You can use CD players and that kind of thing, provided they've got a battery and you've got some headphones and you've got a CD. You can put the CD in the player and put the headphones on the player as well, and then from that you can listen to the CD, and it relieves your boredom. And the character's really, really suffering. I've got to try and find some food. I've got to do some foraging. I'm just going to walk around though. I'm not going to go into crouchy mode because it's a bit faster. Gives us the bonus. At least gives us some bonus because I'm starving. Let's check the thing. Right, so we've got good positives here. We're in an area where animals and food are common. Right, so we found pine cones again. It really annoys me that. Stop finding pine cones. Find some sticks instead. Alright, they make good firewood. But I can't do anything trap wise either at the minute. I need sticky traps. Trapping is quite difficult, I find. I'm not finding anything there. Got the that icon, so we'll just move over here where it changes back. There we go. Pick up something straight away. Sticks, well, we'll grab those. Sticks are always useful. That gave us actually 12 XP. That's nice. It's not as nice as finding some mushrooms and some berries. That would be really useful right about now. Mushrooms and berries are rare in deep forest. Really? Oh, I thought they're more likely to have been in deep forests. Maybe it's just foresty bits I need. Oh, what we got there? More sticks. Ah, right, so foraging has now gone up to the next level. Hopefully, that means I'm more likely to find food and stuff like that. Right, so this is because it's deep for it, saying that everything is really easy to find, stuff like that. So we need to move away from this bit. Right, let's go back to the vegetation bits that we know. Hopefully we'll find some berries and some food. Let's dive down here. Characters feel sick because he's had to eat from the drink from the stream. Let's crouch. More sticks. Again, used as firewood. Create axes, hammers, spears. It's not exactly what I want right now. I need food. It says food's rare in a forest. Right, so we'll move over to the vegetation area when this becomes less dense. So we're into vegetation where it says food is now more common, but mushrooms and berries are still rare. Maybe it's the time of year. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to rely on my fishing and trapping more. Now you can actually pickle things in the game with jars and vinegar, which you find lying around. That's a thing. Not something I've done, but it can be done. Twigs. Okay, twigs. Again, we're not getting as much experience now because we haven't read the next level of book. Because you can see my foraging is now 4 levels. And it no longer has the triangles next to it. And I've got no XP bonus. And that's because I haven't read the next level of book. I've got the next level of book. But I just haven't read it yet. Right, so pine cones. Go away, pine cones. Right, I am getting desperately hungry. I cannot afford to spend any more time foraging, unfortunately. I desperately need to eat. Reduce strength and healing because I've not been eating. Because I'm not eating and I don't have the strength. My strength is reduced. I'm now overloaded. So that means everything is now causing me more exertion. So as I'm running along back to my house, I'm far more likely to get the lung icon, which means I'm beginning to sort of run out of breath. There it is. Moderate exertion. Take a break. And if you do stand still, it will go eventually. But of course, if you're running around, you will also sweat, make yourself damp, which will this isn't a problem because you're making yourself wet, but wet clothes will help bring on colds and things like that. Right, I'm actually going to do where was that beef jerky? Beef jerky. I'm actually going to eat one of those. And I'll go open the canned corned beef. Now the canned corned beef and the tuna don't need the can opener. Because they're like ring pulls, just like a can of Coke. Other than that, everything else, all of the round cans you do need the can opener for. So it's find a can opener. Right, okay, so this is good. So it takes away minus 25 hunger and it doesn't give us any unhappiness. That is good. Food which makes you unhappy is bad. Right, okay. Tin cans in there. Tin cans, you can put them outside, you can catch rainwater in them, but of course you need to cook it. It's the same with buckets, pots and that kind of thing. If you put them outside, they will catch water and you can then cook it on the barbecue and it will become good water to drink. So there's actually a bucket of water there, so I'm actually going to check that out. It says it's okay, and usually it gives you a well, there's not much in it, so we'll go for that. What we'll do is actually put this outside in an open area. Just going to put it kind of over here. Place item, going to bung it there, there we go. And then when it rains it will catch water. And then I can put that in a pot, cook it on the barbecue. Right, so that's actually 2 hours of gameplay and lots of explanation. Oh, right, okay, Scary Harry, hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Savvy Gadget's channel. Tips for new players. Okay, so I have actually covered this today, but when you're starting off, if you're in a game where the electricity is still on for a while, whether it's a week or however long, find a digital watch, okay, or a watch. At 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and 6 o'clock at night, tune your TV into the Life and Living channel, and you just have to be around it. At those times, the Life and Living TV channels will come on, and they will actually give you experience in 4 different areas. There will be carpentry, cooking, trapping, and fishing, and it is very, very useful. Pick up if you can find it, or if you find them. You'll find watches and things like that on dead zombies, so you need to kill zombies to get watches. If you find digital watches, you can actually dismantle them with a screwdriver, and that will help your electronics skill and improve your electronics. If you're starting to play, start in builder mode. Don't go for survival or apocalypse. It is an unforgiving game. Very unforgiving as a game. Generally, if you get bitten in survival or apocalypse mode, your character is dead. It's that kind of harsh. It won't happen immediately, and you may actually survive. It's not a foregone conclusion. But if you do get bitten or scratched by a zombie in survival and apocalypse mode, your character will likely to become infected, and your character will die within a few days of zombification. So start off with builder mode. That's less likely to happen. I've survived quite a few in this, and make sure that you get out, like I've done, to a rural area. Now there is a Project Zomboid map. The link is in the description below. One of the other things to do is don't start in West Point, Muldra or Riverside. Start in Rosewood. It's a good place to start. It's low density, it's low populated, but there are still quite a few zombies around, and you've got the police station here and the fire station, and the fire station actually makes a quite decent base on the outskirts of the town. Now you can just hop over this fence and loot any of these houses, and you'll find quite a lot of equipment in the fire station itself, and you can use the fire station as a stash, basically. Now, I used the upstairs area. Beyond that, foraging is the best way to find food. Now, when I started in Rosewood, the best place... Sandbox is always a good choice. Supertone, yeah. That's just play Sandbox. One of the games that I've got going, in fact, I will show you. If I quit from this. I've actually got a Sandbox, and you can actually change the behaviour of the zombies and the strengths of your player. So where's my Sandbox? There's my Sandbox. Now, this is the character that actually took over to Louisville. So this character's in Louisville, the main city. And they've actually put points of interest on that map as well, on the map for Louisville, which wasn't the time. But try and focus on getting out to a rural area, like I've done. So, with Rosewood, there's a lake here. There's actually a petrol station just there as well, which is quite handy. But I made a base out of this house. And because it's quite close to the lake, there's some good foraging around here as well. You can, there's very few zombies. So you can actually focus on the survival skills a bit more. But here we go. So with this, what I've done is I've tweaked everything, and everything in my favour. This is as easy mode as it gets. The character in game is strong. The zombies are weak, deaf, and short-sighted. All of the cars have the keys in the ignition, are in pristine condition, and I have a full tank of petrol. It's that kind of level of easy, and I usually use this to do demonstrations with, because it is just easy. So that if I do videos, you'll quite often see me. Yeah. So this bookcase is absolutely rammed with books. Instead of just having one or two, it's got tons of them in. But you know, weapons and everything is just abundant. So loot is abundant, respawns quickly. Taking down a horde of zombies is as easy as just waving a machete at them, really. But what it does do is it teaches you the mechanics of the game. And you can concentrate on the survival. One of the other things is I've done with this character, which is quite interesting, I've said, is that if you gain any experience in it, it's got 1,000 times the multiplier, so the character is an absolute expert at pretty much everything. It's like you walk along the road in a crouched position, you're instantly the best nimble and sneaky person in the world. So yeah, creating sandboxes is by far the best idea, and then you can try out an experiment. Then once you've got the ideas of how to play the game and how the mechanics work and how to navigate this, that, and the other, move on to builder if you want to, and then once you're comfortable with builder, move on to survival, and then you will understand why we've told you to go to sandbox and survival builder to start off with. High fenced areas are a good place to be. Zombies cannot get over high fences. You can, they can't. It's a good way of getting away from them. Walking. Zombies cannot catch you if you walk. If you crouch, so you're in a crouch mode, you're sneaking along, they will catch up with you. If you're walking, you can outwalk them. And provided you're not overloaded like it says that I am, you should just be able to keep going until you find a way of losing them. And you lose them in several different ways. It's all about line of sight. If you walk through a group of trees, or a dense group of trees, they will lose sight of you, and they will go to the last point where they saw you. And if they don't find you, that's it. Chase is over. The other thing you can do is if you can get into a building, shut the door behind you, and like I'm doing, get out the back door. Line of sight has been lost. They can't find you. Just keep moving. But that's how it works. What else? Just remember the game is designed to kill you. It's as simple as that. It literally says at the start, this is how you died. And that's the point of the game. It's designed to kill you off. Right, so I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of how to find some bandages pretty quick. If you do get lacerated or scratched by a zombie, one of the things you're going to get is this heart icon will start shaking if you're taking damage. As you can see, this character has taken some damage and has bandages on them. Has been bandaged. So, if you need bandages and you've killed some zombies, what you do is you rip up their clothes. Now, make sure the clothes don't say bloody or dirty. So you take the t-shirt and you go rip clothing. This will give you in your inventory a ripped sheet. You then use the ripped sheet as a bandage. So you right click the wound and you'll get the option to use a bandage of some sort, depending on what bandages you have. If you have the rag, rip sheets, that's fine. If you have a bandage, an actual bandage, you can use that. So let's undo this and do this because I don't need them anymore. But all of your wounds will be listed on this panel. And you right click one, and for each wound you need a new bandage. And obviously you need, if you get an infection, you need sterilised bandages, or you need to use alcohol wipes on them, which you will find at medical centres or dentists and places like that. So pick up tools, saws or a saw, a screwdriver. You should start with a hammer. Don't worry about things like rakes and hoes. They're not particularly useful. Axes, obviously, because they're a good weapon. Lead pipes or pipes are good weapons. They make good sort of things like that. If you can get some nails, because you start off with a baseball bat, if you get 5 nails, you've got a hammer, you've got a baseball bat. Create yourself a spoked baseball bat, and you just if you've got all of those ingredients, you just right click the baseball bat, and it will give you the option to create a spiked baseball bat, and you will create one, and it will do more damage. So yeah, but yeah, try and pick up tools like saws, hammers. Try and pick up nails, a can opener, a bowl, some sort of knife like a cleaver or a meat cleaver, a kitchen knife, a carving knife, a hunter's knife to help you, because they all class as weapons as well. They may not last long in a fight, but they do help you with other things as well, like cooking. So if you find berries and that kind of thing, then you would use that to create salads and fillet meats that you find. We'll actually do a little bit of foraging whilst we're here. See what we can find. This character should find something pretty damn quick. Alright, so we've got because this character is just full on everything. Let's see. Well, we're not going to find anything. It's because I'm in Louisville, of course. I won't find anything in Louisville. They haven't set up the bits yet. But the better your character is at foraging, the more likely it is they'll find something. But in an urban area, you'll find dead animals and that kind of thing, and you'll be able to turn them into filleted meats. If you are foraging and you find a frog, if you put something down on the ground, it doesn't move. If it's a frog, you can fillet a frog and turn it into usable meat. However, if you don't do that, the meat will go off. But if you don't fillet the frog and you just put it in your cupboard, the frog won't move. It also won't go rotten, and it also won't die. So when you need meat, you can always go and pick up the frog, fillet it, and then you've got meat when you need it. And it will be fresh meat. But that's it. Those are the best tips I can give you. Just don't forget to board up your windows with nails and planks if you start in a city area. But my advice is always get out to a rural area, like where I am now. So check out the Project Zomboid map. Link in the description below. Don't start at West Point, Mulder or Riverside. Start off at Rosewood. And get yourself... What I did is I used the fire station as a base to strike out, get what I needed from the surrounding areas. And then you can actually walk it. I've done it a couple of times. But you will encounter zombies on the way. You've also got these buildings to raid. But you've got the water source there, and then just create yourself a little base here, out of the way. If you happen to start in West Point, like I have, try and get yourself going. Now, I actually used this building here, this hardware store, at the north end of town, as a base. You've got all the shops there. There's a hardware store further down. Food markets. There's a bookshop down here where you can find books and magazines. There's the police station not too far away, just literally around the corner from your base, where you might find some decent weapons like nightsticks or guns. Now, guns are bad because they make noise, they attract more zombies, so guns are a last resort. They're a absolutely desperate, got nothing else, use the gun. I think there's a school nearby as well, fairly reasonable. But there's warehouses in the area that you can go to. Plus that bit where I was today and the station there. School's up here. That's got quite... Now, actually, next week, what I'm going to do is I actually found my stash house. It's this house just here. So I'm going to go and loot my old stash house next week. One of my characters that died, and my character that died is somewhere up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to loot that stash house and try and get the loot off of my old character. But there we go. That's it. That's 2 hours and 20 minutes this week. That's actually been a long one. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share my videos. And you're welcome, Tom Mark. That's exactly why I'm here. That's exactly why I do it, to help people out, because Project Zomboid is an unforgiving game. And hints and tips and showing these sort of things is just useful. Yeah, exactly, Supertone. Guns are basically dinner bells for zombies. Quiet weapon zone. If you're interested in some mods, I recommend Book Collection. Very simple, easy mod. Just organises the books into Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4 and Volume 5, so you know exactly which book you need to read, and in what order to get the XP you need. But you need to be the right kind of level to read them. There's no point reading the level 2 book when you've not even reached, level 3 in skill level, if you see what I mean. So Volume 1 covers levels 1 and 2, Volume 2 covers levels 3 and 4, and so on and so on and so on. But there is so much to this game. But again, I'm here every week. So every Sunday, 1 o'clock GMT, I live stream Project Zomboid for your viewing pleasure. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share the Savvy Gadgetz love for PZ. And we obviously... we live stream out to Twitch and to YouTube. So don't forget to join me on Twitch. And donate a Patreon if you feel so declined. But until next week, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will certainly try and do my best. But until then, thank you very much, and bye-bye. Oh, and don't forget, check out all of the other videos that I've got on my channel. I've got tons. I've got at least 4 years of videos that you can watch. It. Most of them, it's not all Project Zomboid, but there's lots of other interesting stuff that I've been up to and got up to in various games. Oh, and don't forget, check out, free on Steam, Humanit or Humanit Z, depending on where you're from. It's a demo. It's very much like Project Zomboid. I don't think it's as in depth. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to, but it's worth checking out. I think it's very, very similar in its gameplay styles. But yeah, until then, next week. Bye bye.